Are we ready?
The wall striker.
All right, we'll get on the road. Good afternoon. This is the House Judiciary Committee. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of March, 2023. We have a number of bills which we believe are basically the same as bills that we passed out of the House, so this may or may not be quick. We will find out. It'll be very exciting. I don't see Senator Waldstreicher, so we'll go to Senator Carter for Senate Bill 42. Senator Carter, am I right in thinking that this was passed from the Senate in the same posture as it passed the House?
Mr. Chair, so is that just a move favorable? No.
Well,
but just by way of just a brief explanation.
That'd be fine.
The bill came in with no opposition, but Women's Law Center was favorable with amendments. We did work that amendment out with the Women's Law Center, and so the Senate bill did pass with that amended language. Is that your understanding?
I believe that is my understanding. Is that correct? That's what counsel says too. Based on all of that very important information, does anybody have any questions for Senator Carter? Or can we let her go back across the street?
It was nice seeing you. I'll be seeing more of you, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That concludes
the committee's changed a bit. Welcome new members. So many people rotating the chair to the big chair, and Frank's still there.
That concludes the bill hearing on Senate Bill 42. Frank is still there. Senate Bill 797, Senator Heddleman has just come in. This was a cross-file with Delegate Pasteur.
Yes.
And I believe we made some amendments to our version. Are they reflected in the Senate version or not?
They are.
So
they
it's
are.
in the same posture?
They should be in exactly the same posture, and I am so pleased to be here with you today and to have one of my wonderful delegates, Delegate Pasteur, as the cross-file. I have another wonderful delegate, Delegate Cardin, here also. So you all love this bill and passed it, and I would just urge you to do the same with the Senate crossfile.
Being that it's in the same position as the way it left the House, does anybody have any in-depth or insightful questions they want to ask Senator Heddleman, or can we let her go too? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you
I shouldn't have done that. Whatever. Okay, great. That concludes the testimony for 797. Getting a little ahead of myself here. Senate Bill 115. Boy, when they seek to edit this over at OIS, it's going to be great. All right, it's Senate Bill 115. Senator Jackson, I believe that this is in the same position as the House bill. Is that correct?
That is exactly right, sir.
And that you had a wonderful House sponsor and that they're here.
Terrific House sponsor.
Really? Okay, all right, that's good. That's fine.
Couldn't have done it without her.
Couldn't have done it without her, and so you want us to gut the bill and completely amend it now, or?
Not this year. Not this year.
All right, not this year. Would you like to say something about the bill?
Yes, actually, this is a bill that makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on behalf of my district, but also as the chair of the Veterans Caucus. This is a bill that the Veterans Caucus supported. The Uniform Code of Military Justice does not have provisions to deal with our juveniles, and this bill will rectify that. So we are asking for a favorable report.
All right, we passed the language in the same form in the House.
Yes.
Does anybody have any insightful questions they want to ask Senator Jackson? No? Well, then you can go back home, too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you all.
Thank you, and that concludes the testimony on House Bill 115. The Vice Chair of JPR is here. He was supposed to go first, but showed up late. Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Tough crowd.
I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The nervous laughter from the committee is really wonderful, actually, right now, but okay.
The nerves are
necessary.
mine.
It did not pass completely the same because I think there was a technical amendment in the House that we added on. Is that correct?
That is correct, and in fact, we prefer the House version. Council.
Wait, did we get that?
And so we would ask on Senate Bill 1773, you amend to reflect House Bill 189, and when House Bill 189 comes over, we will make sure to pass it clean as you have amended it. And thank you to council for both committees for working.
Does anybody have any insightful questions that they would like to ask Vice Chair of JPR? Like him to repeat it constantly? No? Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chairman. That concludes the testimony on Senate Bill 173. Senate Bill 71 is next with Senator Brooks. Senator, is this in the same posture that the House bill that we sent to you?
Exactly, Chair.
It
Same
is?
posture.
Same
Is that a
posture?
me too?
And you had a good sponsor and everything?
Indeed.
All right, well, that's good.
Yeah.
The sponsor's not here.
Yeah. He's over on the other side on one of his bills. So.
That's his
Yes.
mistake, I guess. All right,
Yeah.
that's fine. All right, well,
Yeah.
being that's in the same position, I think people have already seen and heard this bill. Does anybody have any questions about this bill, as we have already passed it? Seeing none, that concludes the testimony on Senate Bill 71. Thank you very much. We'll
Thank you, Chair.
let you go back across the street.
Okay, good.
All right?
Good. All right.
Senate Bill 54. Is Senator Lamb here? You're on behalf of Senator Lamb? Yeah. All right. All the other senators showed up. But that's okay. That's okay. So this is the cross-file of Delegate Moon's bill, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct. This is identical to the House passed Delegate Moon's bill. Again, it's just repealing a very antiquated part of code that criminalizes adult consensual sexual activity, protecting our Marylanders if certain Supreme Court cases ever are struck down, just kind of tighten up some of our code.
We have already passed this bill. I do know that it was that there were some people who voted against it. However, it passed in the same structure as what
Correct.
passed the Senate. Are there questions for this?
My name is Scott, by the way.
For Scott, who is not Senator Lamb. All right, seeing none, we thank you very much for coming, and that concludes the testimony for Senate Bill 54.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Now we actually have a bill hearing, and this is for House Bill 1300. Many on the committee will remember a few days ago when I was asked to introduce a bill after the deadline, and I was jeered and people laughed at me on the floor, but it was fine. You supported me, and I appreciate that. And it's actually because it's very important. So now we're going to hear from the administration, from the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services about why it's important. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Chair Clevinger, Vice Chairman, members of the Judiciary Committee. My name is Jennifer Beskett. I'm with the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. You have the department's written testimony regarding House Bill 1300. Basically, just to bring you up to date, the department has been in discussion with the FBI for a couple of years because of changes that happened in the family law article several years ago. House Bill 1300 corrects the two major concerns that were identified by the FBI. It adds the language of the Public Law 92544 back into the family law article, and it codifies language prohibiting a private entity from obtaining a national background check. The biggest issue with this, and the reason why we appreciate the chair taking this bill, is that if the family law article is not amended to meet the requirements, the department will no longer be able to offer national background fingerprint checks. And with that, I ask for a favorable report. I'm available for any questions.
And why is it important that you can't, why is that a thing?
So the family law article is specific to child care providers and foster care placement, juvenile services. If we cannot provide national background checks, national fingerprint background checks, it would impact foster care placements. It would impact hiring at child care providers, the individuals who are charged with trusting the safety and security of our children and juveniles.
Delegate Conaway.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for coming in to testify. My question is, the foster care provider in Maryland, do they have to be fingerprinted?
If it's an emergency placement, based on my understanding of the bill, there would have to be a background check done, which would include the fingerprints.
But if it's not an emergency placement?
That one I'd have to get back to you on.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Delegate Kaufman.
Jen, it's great to see you again.
Hello, Delegate Kaufman.
We work together on better interactions for people with disabilities and law enforcement, so it's good to see you. My question is, would this be a requirement, or is it already a requirement? Because there are a number of people in Montgomery County who have small child care centers. By that I mean that they make their living by having 4 or 5 kids in their basement, or they're home-based child care providers. So are the smaller ones required to do this criminal background check investigation? Or does this apply to just larger, like KinderCare type of places?
So the changes to the changes that are proposed is that an authorized agency would get, which is a state, county, or municipal government agency or somebody that's under the control of, would need the background checks. But the private home providers are eligible to get the state background checks. And again, it's all in how they're defined, if they're considered a private agency or a public agency or a public entity.
Okay, so this just to make sure I understand, because I don't eat and breathe and live family law. This would enable my county, Montgomery County, to get necessary information. Is that correct?
The child care providers who are licensed under them, as long as they meet the definition.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Basically just allows child care providers to be able to do criminal background checks of people who are going to be working for them.
As long as they're considered an authorized agency.
Correct.
Yes.
It's, yes. Thus, they made me stand up on the floor. So, any further questions? Seeing none, thank you very much, and that concludes the testimony for House Bill 1300.
Thank you.
And that concludes the testimony for the House Judiciary Committee for today, March 22nd. We will have a voting session tomorrow in the afternoon. We will also have further bill hearings tomorrow. So the voting session will happen immediately after the bill hearings. Thank you very much.